Hello, my name is Bernie. I'm a nurse, um, and I would like to share my experience in the prevention of spread of infection. We know we hear a lot about washing our hands and getting ourselves prepared, and people are ransacking all the aisles of the likes of Costco and Sam's Club for cleaning supplies and disinfectants. So these are hard to come by, and if you are a layperson, you really don't have any access to those. But um, I worked for a tuberculosis clinic for 5 years, and I'd also been a nurse for 40. Some things that you don't learn in school, you probably would learn on hand as you do your practice on the field. Um, and all of these things that cleansing stuff and everything are not always available um, when you're a layperson. But I've always devised when my kids were growing up, as a mother, you're always paranoid of what you get from public restrooms and all that. So I've always carried this handy spritzer, sprayer. It has a fine mist dispenser, and I carry them in 4 ounce and 8 ounces, and usually I have the 2 ounces, but I had to give those to my family because everybody's so concerned. And from my end, I went to our Sam's Club, and usually there will be loads on a rack of 91% alcohol that you could get hold of. And see, 91%. Um, Per recommendation, we can use 70% and up as disinfectants, and you can use those in your spritzer like this and use it. I use it when I was at the TV clinic. Just from what I taught myself is that if somebody sneezes or somebody coughs, I hold my breath for, I count up to 15 to 20 seconds. Sometimes it gets you a little dizzy, but um, we have so many available masks and PEs, but you usually don't do that at the very initial step when you are introduced to a new patient. So, as a precaution, I've learned to do that on my own, and also, just get yourself some air, hold your breath, or step about at least 3 to 4 feet away from the person, and then kind of remove yourself from the space where you think there's a lot of concentration of the, let's say, bacteria or viruses in the air. Gravity, as a rule, will get those bacteria down. Anything drops, even the lightest um, dust will settle if you do give it some time. Like as a precaution, I spritz myself like so and hold my breath. But you don't always do that in front of people. Nowadays, too, I have learned that it's not readily available. I could not get hold of any of this online at the moment. Luckily, I have a few at home, and what I do is I fill this up with the 91%, like 70% and up, like I said, is good, but luckily they have 91% where I get mine from. And also, you don't always get hold of wipes and sanitizers like we do at work, we are alert also, so we have so many of this, but this is not readily available to us, right? So what you do is I actually went to the website because I've done my own, just like per calculation in my own perception of how an infection should be managed or how bleach should be used. But as a rule, I went to the website of a bleach company, and they suggested 2 cups of water to 3.5 teaspoon of chlorine bleach. Let's say Clorox, because it's more recognizable. So if you do put that chlorine in a container like this, um, you at least you have it handy. If you have it in a smaller container, it would be best. But I suggest that you do have stickies to put on them so as not to confuse yourself what you're spritzing, because some of them can have um, eye irritant, especially Clorox in higher concentration. And what I've done is we don't always have paper towels, so carry a washcloth with me, and then I just carry, um, as I always do with my Q-tips anyway, baggies like this, baggie. And when you use your washcloth, don't get the biggest one, just any rag or washcloth. When you go to, like, let's suppose say you're going to a grocery store or you're going to a building, you don't really know what's there for you or what was there before you. You could just spritz that handle with Clorox bleach. Like I said, at the percentage I told you, 2 cups, and for three with 3.5 teaspoons of Clorox. And you can have your tissue paper or your washcloth in here. You can just hang it outside, tie it outside of your bag, and then you can just wipe it. And any doorknob, any elevator buttons, you could confidently use Clorox. I know it's available anywhere and everywhere. Hopefully there's plenty in the aisle at your grocery store. But I would put and label my Clorox, and I also um, would label my alcohol. And if you do so, by labeling these things, at least you don't switch it, and get confused along the way. This ones, if you don't have any disinfectant, like this foaming one, alcohol 70% that they provide at your workplace, um, and you rub it for like 15 seconds or so. I usually do this even at home before I handle any food, and you just spritz it with alcohol like so, and rub it between your fingers for at least 10 seconds. You can count, and then let it dry. But let me warn you, alcohol can be drying, so you can put lotion and hand lotion in between. But I think that would be your first line of defense. Like I said, alcohol spritzer and a Clorox spritzer. The alcohol, you do not have to add anything to it. It's already at 70%, or like I said, 91%, and that should be your first line of defense. And with this one, at least I can confidently just spray it because I know what I'm getting. And the Clorox, I know that I could use it like like people had come through our door, and I could just spray it like so. It's kind of wet because it's water based, but it does the job in cleaning, and you can clean both ways either, even, and that would should be helpful, just at least to put your mind at ease of that you're doing something, because everybody's in a panic, and I think we need to stay calm. um, there's no sense in worrying, and hopefully if you get it together, your defenses, your things that you could do on your own. And if you instruct children that are, you can even give them a 1 ounce, smaller than this, spritzer. You have probably leftover body sprayers and everything. You can just rinse the soap with water, let it dry well, and then you can put your alcohols there. Bleach, I don't know if that would be good idea to give them because they might not know how to take care of it. They might stain their clothes and whatnot. But like I said, if you do, like you go on a train, you go to the bank and you handle money, especially money. Early on as a nursing student, I've always found out that the dirtiest item you can handle is money. It exchanges hands so fast, and it doesn't get washed, it doesn't get disinfected in any way, and you're constantly exposed to using it. And luckily, we're in the credit card and other technology that we're used to right now, but you still at one point or so will be handling some kind of monetary paper or coins along the way. So take care of your family, take care of your kids, and like I said, always carry this with you. Just a spritzer. It doesn't have to be this big because this one is 8 ounces. Um, like I said, a Clorox and a 4 ounce spritzers. And like I said, it's hard to get hold of them now because it says there because of the crisis. All of the packing companies and packaging companies had run out. But like I said, you'd have don't throw away your body misters and your whatnot, even your dispensers. They may come in handy. And even so, you can use just a regular cap, pour it on a tissue paper, like I said, a washcloth, and wipe that out. And when you go to the bank, you go to the store, or wherever you think you're going to be handling a doorknob. Um, Hopefully, this video would help you, and be careful out there. And let's get through this crisis together. Good luck.